And welcome to RaceTalk Live's ShopTalk. Bobby Potts, Bill Gritt, joined tonight by Justin Montgomery, otherwise known as Chicken. We're going to get into that discussion too. And Mike Hill. Guys, a little chilly outside tonight, but thanks for making the trip over.
Yeah, you know, Justin works for City Plumbing. You'd think he could fix you up with some heat in this place, Bill.
We were talking about that earlier. You know, it's 50 degrees in here that both those guys think they can work in this thing. So we'll let them go.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
As long as Ashley shares some of the heat back by there by the
She's back there etching
wood
glass.
burner. Yeah.
She's sitting by the heater in the corner, okay?
Yeah. We'll bring her. Sure. We'll have to bring her out after a bit when she's warmed up.
We probably ought to bring her out pretty quick. Justin's got some new news that just recently hit the Facebook pages all over the place. Grab the microphone. What's the story? She really did say yes?
Yeah, I had to go back and ask her because in the heat of the moment, I didn't really realize if she said yes or not. It was pretty funny.
Where did this take place at?
It was at her parents' house for the Christmas. I know everyone makes fun of people for doing it on Christmas, but I told her I never would, so it helped with the surprise. But she's always teased me about needing a dishwasher, and we had an argument about not being engaged yet. Then Nate,
because Nate,
yeah,
Janest, got engaged before you guys did.
Yeah, and I heard about that, and so anyway, she says I asked her what she wants for Christmas.
Keep going, you're fine.
And she sits there and says, well, I'm not going to get what I really want, but if you're going to get me anything, just get me a dishwasher. So what I ended up doing was we actually had Tim from work had to go on to install a customer's dishwasher. So long story short, I wrapped a ring up in a huge dishwasher box and like 6 different layers of packages wrapped inside of packages. So once she finally got to it, I got down on one knee and then asked, and then I didn't remember if she said yes or not because I had to go back and ask her, did you say yes? But no, she's...
Where is the future Mrs. Montgomery? You can stand up and come on up here.
She's staying warm, yeah. But, so... She's hounded me for quite a while, but...
Congratulations.
Thank you.
She's all smiles now. You guys have do you have a date picked out yet?
We're talking spring of 2016.
All right. Congratulations to both
Now
of
you got to watch out in springtime. You know, that's when all the demoing starts.
Yeah, you better do it in the wintertime when it's cold out.
Yeah, and then we have like about 7 other people that are good friends that are all getting engaged, so we have to kind of dodge each other's weddings because everyone will be at the, going to the same, or going to different ones. Yeah.
So you really didn't think he'd ever propose to you, huh?
I thought he would, but I thought it'd be a long time. He told me it'd be another 5 years.
So was there a dishwasher too, or was it just the ring in the box?
I am the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys, for coming out on a pretty chilly night tonight. We went ahead and decided to keep going with this. Congratulations to both of you. Let's talk some demo derby stuff here, guys. You got started. You got started in the cruiser racing stuff.
Yeah.
At least your dad did, but you've always been kind of in the demolition derby things. So
yeah, when I first started out, my dad had like a 76 Olds 98 he gave me for my birthday, and he said you can either derby it or cruiser race it. And I thought, well, cruiser racing would last a little longer than a derby car, so we started with that. Then I didn't get into derby until I think I was 18. So since about 2001, I think is when I started. So I don't know about, when did you start?
When did you start, Mike?
98.
98. For the average listener, there are different classes of demolition derby,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
What are they?
There's a bone stock, which is basically you do nothing to the car. Move your battery, and that's it. You can literally roll the windows down, not have to take them out.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, and it makes it as cheap as just knowing a guy that has a car that runs to let you drive it. You're in a derby car for nothing.
But if you take it back to him all dented up, what's he going to say?
He's getting $300 for scrap out of it. He's happy.
Years back, that's kind of the way demoing was, and they kind of got away from it for a while. And I've heard a lot of the places are trying to get that.
And that's
class
why it's
back
coming
going.
back. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
it just needs to. We're trying to bring a younger crowd into the sport, you know, and maybe even just some older guys back into the sport that just, you know, they don't want to do all the bigger stuff,
Right.
you know.
And
So
definitely a lot cheaper.
oh yeah, absolutely,
cheaper.
absolutely.
I mean, because is there and forgive me because I don't follow Demolition Derby as much as I should.
Shame
but
on you.
I know. I'm a tired old dirt track racer.
Well.
But is there a welded class and an unwelded class, or what are the other classes?
Well, like I said, there's a bone stock, which is that one. There's a semi mod, which goes a step further than that, lets you add a little bit more crucial components, you know, a little bit better motor.
But you still have to have mainly stock
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah.
You can just modify the car differently. So.
It's still a GM motor to a GM car, Ford
Okay.
motor to a Ford car.
Okay.
Then you go to a mod class, a pro mod class, which is basically unlimited. I mean, you have to build to the rules, but you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And those are the ones. Which class do you?
That's what
compete
we
in?
run.
Both of
run
you?
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes a while to build these cars.
That can.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're going
Nowadays.
after. I mean, like, you know, there's the bigger shows that, you know, like chicken runs, that it'll take him 2 or 3 months to build a car.
Yeah.
You know, you build a county fair car, you can for most of us, we have stuff that just fits right in. So you
Okay.
can usually have it done in a couple, you know, probably 5 days if you had to.
Yeah.
If you had to.
Chicken, tell us a little bit. Compare the county fair car to like the Blizzard Bash car. I mean,
Well-
how much more time do you actually spend on that?
The Blizzard Bash car is a little different because their rules are so much more extreme than everyone else. But we honestly spend about the same amount of time on the county fair car as we would a big show car, you know, within the rules. You know, we do about everything we can, you know, and like he said, there are times when you get down to crunch time and you have to, you know, just get it done. But, you know, I don't know. Usually take us to build like an 80s square body Vic, it'd probably be about, I'd say about 3 to 4 weeks, pretty much a month, you know,
Okay.
and that's staying after it pretty good. And that's where we feel comfortable, like when we roll on the track, that there's nothing else that we should have done to it, you know, where we know that that's what we brought.
You know, what got me was us being around circle track stuff for so long. We go to trade shows all the time, and we look at shocks and bird cages and engine components and stuff. And the very first Blizzard Bash that I went to, I went down in the vendor's deal, and it was amazing at the stuff they build for
Yeah.
demolition derby cars. I couldn't believe it.
That's what I was kind of telling Mike on the way out here. I was like, you know, Bob, you know, he came to that first Blizzard Bash, and I think it kind of just opened his eyes like, wow, they don't just knock the windows out and go, you know. But that Blizzard Bash, it's extreme. I mean, I bet at average there's probably, I would guess about just average, there's at least 10 to 15 grand in each one of them cars that rolls onto that team show track. And we'd probably have that in ours. You know, Maya builds a lot of our stuff, so we save a lot of money there. And, you know, we get to build it the way we want. We just don't have to buy the product that everyone else is selling. So that helps us out a lot, but it's just so expensive, like, you know.
And how much of the parts that you actually use on the car can you keep and put on a different one? I mean, what do you
Well,
end up?
if you're lucky, most all of it except the actual car, you know, like, you know, the suspension and the body and stuff, you'll get rid of, and then, you know, you should be able to reuse most everything unless, you know, you got really screwed up. But
Yeah.
Have you ever been able to reuse a whole car?
well, like county fair cars and everything, you know, usually you can, you know, get 2 or 3 derbies out of one of them.
But the Blizzard Bass, it's done.
Well,
Yes and no.
no.
Yes and no.
So, and that's what it kind of, you can build them cars so hard unless you know, there's pretty extreme. So we still have ours left because they didn't let us move on this year from the B feature. We won the B feature, but then we were done. They don't let you qualify to the A. So we have a car sitting there that's overbuilt for anywhere around here. So we're got to figure out where to run it.
Were the guys pleased with the new format like that, or I mean,
No, and you know, Sam actually, the promoter, he got a Facebook group, and just the team guys, he added every one of the team guys as Facebook to this big group and has pretty much a big discussion on what he wants to change and all this. And probably not supposed to tell him, but he's talking about paying 20 grand to win next year.
Wow.
And
For a demo derby?
Yeah.
yeah.
20 grand.
This is a team derby, so you're
Okay.
split between 4, but still, that's a pretty good payout.
Yeah.
Unless you go like you guys. Have you ever gone with 4 cars?
Nah, not for the last 2 or 3 years.
I mean, every time we go down there, you guys.
Now, wait a minute,
He didn't get
wait
his
a
car
minute.
done,
Yeah.
or he
I've got
wasn't
a-
legal, or
I've got a Facebook picture where I rolled up on you guys rolling down the highway
yeah.
earlier this year. 2 cars on a trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 cars on a trailer, but the beer cooler strapped to the back end of the trailer behind the cars. I'm thinking, stock car guys don't do it like that. That beer cooler's in the back of the truck. What's up with the
Yeah.
cooler at the back of
That
the
was
trailer?
pretty early in the morning, I think. But
Did you forget it back there?
No. So, no, I don't know if that was this year or last year. I think we were heading to Oskaloosa, Iowa on that.
Yeah,
deal.
you're going to Iowa.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was pretty neat because Mike, like I said, he derbied back against my dad and everything, so he's seen the whole big change, from how he started. And like I saw a lot of it, but not, as far as him. And I think you took a couple of years off, didn't you? Then came back, and it's still progressed even since then.
Yeah, I 2 years. I kind of flipped some jobs around, and I was working nights and weekends for a couple of years, so I kind of gave it up. But in just that 2 year period, the changes were unbelievable. I mean, it's like I went from building a car the way I used to, and I tried building my first car that way, and I was like, you kind of had to scratch your head a couple times because you're like, well, this isn't the same anymore. I could used to do this, and now I can't. It's what's going on, and just the technology is so updated. I mean, there's when I got out of the sport before, that we had an engine cradle, but it was more of just a lower engine cradle. It just basically so you didn't break the bosses on your engine was all it was. Now that son of a gun wraps the whole dang engine, and it's ironproof. I mean, you can slam it into a concrete wall and be like, yep, let's do that one again. And it's like, what the heck? But the gas pedals, the shifters, it's all cable drive now, which is, don't get me wrong, it's awesome. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way, but it's much different. I mean.
Mike, you being in it for as long as you have, do you like the way it's headed, or do you like this new stock class that's coming up? Is it going to drop maybe some of the other classes back to where it's a little more affordable to do, or do you like the way it's headed?
Well, I tell you what, I think all the classes are going to hang around. Like your pro mod class, you're going to have less drivers in it, but I think basically what it's going to come down to is, say we have 7 or 8 guys show up to a derby, we're going to have to pay $100 a head to get into that derby. But it's going to be winner take all pretty much in that show. So I don't see that changing. I do see, like I said, I do see a lot more people coming up, and especially with, there's compact class too, which is nice for the guys that just like them little racers or whatever. But and then there's trucks that come out. There's even lawnmowers, for Christ's sakes. My kid drove his first lawnmower derby in Newton this year and got 4th place, and he didn't stop talking about that for a month. I mean, all he can say is like, I can't wait till May so I can run that thing again. I can't wait till May so I can run that thing again. But and if you know my kid, I mean, he's just diehard. He's into it. So I mean, we made him his own shirts for it. I mean, it was a big deal for him. So I wanted his first experience in a demolition derby just to be everything it could be.
When you talked about the 4-cylinder class, front wheel drive class, it made my day. The best deal of the whole weekend was at the Blizzard Bash when they had the front-wheel drive cars came out, and they were one guy short. And they waited, and they waited, and they waited, and finally said, we got to go. So they closed the arena up, and they finished that feature off and brought out the old iron stuff after that. And pretty soon here come this little 4-cylinder something come out there.
It was Illumina, yeah.
Illumina, okay.
Yeah.
And here he comes and out with these great big old cars, and we couldn't. What's
He
this?
smoked 3 or 4 big cars.
What's this guy doing out here? So they get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they take off. And there was this big old Chrysler. I don't know what it was, but it was big, backed up against the berm, and this little front wheel drive car nosed up on him and shoved him clear up over the berm. And then the guy flipped him off and backed off, and I mean, that was the crowd just went nuts rolling over that deal.
I was sitting right there. It was pretty cool.
Just like with dirt track racing, there's somebody with a finger out the window, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it might be the one. It might be the other one.
See, we have different reasons for using that too. Sometimes if you're hung up and don't want anyone else know, I didn't get to flip you off, so you try to get me to know. Anyway, you flip some guy off and make him mad enough to come hit you where he unhangs you, and like, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, that works out
Strategy.
pretty
There's
well
a
sometimes.
strategy to that. Okay, it's all about how and when you use it, right?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Let's back up for a minute because you got your start in cruiser racing.
yeah.
What made you not decide to go stock car racing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, ever since my dad derby, that's been, I just loved watching it, loved doing it.
Think he was
you
chicken?
know.
Is
You
that where the
know.
nickname comes from?
No, and I don't know what that deal's all about. I mean, I don't like snakes, so that's one reason, like, because I'm not very fond of snakes. And then he said that I played basketball like Chicken George. I don't know what that means, but he just called me chicken because I run around like a chicken with my head cut off when I was playing basketball.
And what's the deal? There's a dog mask running around the shop here. What's the story with that?
I don't know.
I have not seen a dog.
You've
Yeah,
not
I
seen the
don't
dog?
know.
I didn't see a dog.
Where's the dog? It was
I didn't
supposed
see
to
a
run
dog.
around the shop.
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Not happening.
So, no.
What's the Derby season like? When's it start? Does it run all year long? Tell me
Well,
some more.
Last year we started, I think our first show was in Hot Springs, Arkansas in February 29th, I believe, or something like last year. And that honestly just put too much stress on us because trying to get that car done and hauling it all the way up there, then we lasted about like probably 10 minutes in the heat and completely shattered a full spool in the Dana 60. So all that traveling, all that time for 10 minutes of fun, but so then went on from there. But that's pretty much the first derbies are usually around then. I mean, like they had that there's one right after Blizzard Bash, that Texas and Amarillo Turkey Bash, and then there's pretty much a derby. If you really wanted to run, you could probably run any time of year because they're all over. I mean, if you want to travel, but that's the thing. I mean, usually, like if you're like us, you're pretty burnt out at the end of the year and ready for a long break. So
It's time for a beer.
yeah. So
How many shows do you guys usually hit, Mike?
I hit, what did I hit, 4 or 5 last year? Which it was kind of my bringing back year. I mean, I'd been at it for a couple years, and I tried to run every show that I could possibly run. Did rather well, I thought. I mean, but I don't know. It's just give and take, I mean, you gotta put the time in to get the reward back. So,
What's your biggest one that you've won?
I actually won Salina the first night here, and that was my very first win ever. Which I was tickled pink, which was funny because I had a pink motor in it, but it was ecstatic. I mean,
A pink motor?
Yeah. My daughter wanted it pink, so I painted it pink.
Okay.
What's the guy to do? You
Works
tell
for
your
me.
daughter no?
No,
I'm not gonna.
no.
My daughter, yeah.
so
But yeah, that was probably my most exciting one of the year. Got a couple thirds this year. I went up and ran Beloit, which never ran Beloit before. Went up there for the first Derby in May, which is actually on my birthday. Took a car, the very first car I built after 2 years of being off. And I finished third up there for that one. That was awesome.
that was
I mean,
a big show with
that
a
was
lot
a
of
big
big
show.
names there
Yeah,
too.
big
so that
show.
was
We had it was a 26 or 29 cars showed up, so which is a big show. I mean, going from what we had when I got out of it, we were down to 10, maybe 12 cars a show. So to have 26 cars, 29 cars show up was an awesome show. I enjoyed it. I mean,
How do you guys find cars? I mean, where do you just drive around countryside looking, or what?
yeah. I mean, you drive around, Facebook, friends, anybody that knows you're looking, they're gonna call you.
Yeah, that's most people seem to find me, anymore, and then ask. And usually, like I was telling him on the way out here, usually they'll get a hold of me right when I'm putting all my money into like a car to build, like Blizzard Bash. Like, hey, do you want to buy this car? Like, yeah, I don't quite have the coin right now for it though. But luckily we have. Well, I'm running out. We had quite a few stockpiled, but I'm running through them pretty quick. I think I'm getting down to probably under 10 cars now, I believe. So.
Wow, that's quite a yeah.
But from what we used to
How
have,
many?
Yeah.
How many?
It says 10, and I'm
10?
like, wow.
Yeah.
I got like
Oh.
3.
Yeah, but you went out of
Well,
it.
yeah,
So.
yeah, you're right. I sold
But-
everything that I had, so.
Do you have a favorite car to use? I mean, I know at the Blizzard Bash you like something big and heavy, or what?
Well, I mean, I've always ran like for the last probably 5 or 6 years. I've been running the 80s to 91 like Crown Vics and Mercuries, and pretty much Maya built me a cage and everything that'll just bolt right into there, and everything. It's pretty much just like an assembly line. Kind of like your guys put your race cars together. It's all bolt together. We have our setup like that, where you get the doors welded and everything, then everything kind of bolts in there. So,
Yep.
So you kind of have to. I mean, I've been sticking with that same car, and you get to try different things here and there on them, and they've been pretty competitive. So that's what we've been running.
Why
So
fix what ain't broke, though?
Yeah.
I mean, it works.
You
But-
too? You run the same
yeah,
car?
About the same style, yeah.
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 but and it said that's what makes it the easiest.
They're cheaper, too.
And I forget the actual statistic, but there's so many of them cars made that usually you can find them everywhere. And I don't know why a lot of the different, like Eastern Kansas, a lot of them guys are swearing by the 98 to 02 Crown Vics, and I've ran a couple, but I don't see that major of a difference compared to the older ones. But
I have yet to run one of those.
Don't think that'll work?
I don't know. That was something after I come back for 2 years. That was the new thing. So I don't know. I've yet to find one to even try it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
so
In racing, we talk a lot about safety. What do you guys do to protect yourselves? What do you do? Anything?
look
Or
around, make sure.
yeah, I was talking to a guy today, and he was looking inside a derby car, and he said there's not a seatbelt in there, and he goes, "We don't wear them. You guys wear
we have
seatbelts?"
seatbelts. We have seatbelts.
That's just a Fireball Markley deal. Chad doesn't ever wear seatbelts, but
Our cages are built to withstand
Yeah.
quite a bit.
What about protective clothing for you? Anything? Just
Fire
jeans?
suit.
You
I
wear a
wear
fire
a
suit?
fire suit
Yep.
top,
Yep.
and then the neck brace I used to wear, but I don't anymore just because I think it gets more in the way, and I'd rather be able to see the hits coming. So,
Yep.
and granted, like our class and everything's well enough built that you're not going to have the fuel fires most of the time like you'd see in, say, the compact class.
Well, I saw a fuel fire a couple of years ago here
Abilene.
in Abilene. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a bad
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of
And that
our
was a battery come loose. That's a
buddies.
friend of yours, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we know.
Did you build his car?
No, no. Which I don't know what. I think their gas tank had came loose, and it was electric fuel pump they put in the top, and I think it had rolled over and spilled gas. So once that electrical fittings on the top hit the floor, that's when the fuel went up. Because I was actually there working on our car for the feature back in the pits, and you just see the smoke rolling and hear the crowd silent, and you're just like, oh no.
That's
So, but luckily he got out, and I think he burned his arm, but God, that's scary. But, so thank goodness we haven't had to witness too many of them. I think,
that was at the championship show, wasn't it?
no, I think that was just the Abilene Fair
the fair show?
Yeah,
So fireproof tops, jean bottoms,
yeah.
whatever you got on for shoes is good enough, eh?
Well, yeah, I have a pair of lucky black Nike New Balance shoes that have holes in them, so hopefully my feet don't catch fire because it'd probably be stuck to them like elastic.
We're quick like cat. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that. If she catches on fire,
We're
we're quick
out.
like cat.
We're out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We don't have the little tiny windows like you guys got.
No, and I guess the one thing, I mean, it seems scary, but we're not fastened in there like the race car guys, and we can get out. Usually the openings, unless you're actually
That
hurt
way,
in
that
there,
way.
you
Yeah.
you don't really stay in there
Yeah.
if it's on fire. But
Lucky
knock on
shoes.
wood.
You said lucky shoes.
yeah,
You've been wearing these shoes for forever?
well, as long as I can remember.
Oh my God, do they stink?
They got
No,
holes in them.
They got holes in them.
they're
They're ventilated. Okay.
yeah,
Are your shoes as old as your seat? I tell you what, that seat
Oh,
that I
it's
seen
been
that you
around.
sat in it looks.
Maya's rebuilt it like a couple times, just patched it back together. But I am pretty superstitious when it comes to stuff like that. But
Note to self: burn the seat.
yeah,
So tell me about the seat. I might as well know the rest of the
Yeah.
story. What's
it's
the
actually
deal?
an old cruiser seat that we had that
But is it a racing seat? Is it
Uh,
aluminum seat?
Mustangs are fast. I think it came out of a Mustang.
Have you seen the seat that he sits in?
I've seen it.
What is it?
Yeah, it beats the heck out of
It's
me.
not a racing seat.
I
like
don't
we
know.
Yeah,
The
it's
padding's
torn
all
up.
it's all duct taped up, and I don't know what it's
Yeah.
for a seat.
Yeah, I
Do
think.
you have a standing appointment with your chiropractor?
No, I should. I thought about seeing if one wanted to sponsor. But
I had one
No.
for 2 years.
yeah, no, we did some work for City Plumbing for Terry Eisenhower, and he has that like $20, $25 adjustment. So I've had to go use that a couple times.
He's really good too. He's
Yeah.
really good.
So
Wait a minute. You do some work for City Plumbing?
yeah.
Doesn't that say City Plumbing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do some work for Terry Eisenhower through City Plumbing.
Oh,
you know
okay,
what I mean?
okay.
We used to work.
I
for
lost
him,
you.
so-
Sorry.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you're talking about getting hit. The regular county fairs, the cars are built.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Blizzard Bash, which they're a little tougher. Compare the two.
Well,
Can you?
it's no matter what you're in or what class, if you don't see them coming and
It
you're not
hurts.
ready, you're
It
gonna
hurts.
get. So, I've been laid over. I'm sure you have
Yeah.
too in the bigger shows and the smaller. The Blizzard Bash, everyone's got such high horsepower, such good traction. That track's just like the clay on right before an A feature of your guys'
Yep.
races, and they hook up. So you hope to not get caught there, but I think the adrenaline's so high there that you don't feel as much just because, you don't have time to actually stop and look around at the Blizzard Bash. It's just go.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's to me, you get caught sitting still and not looking at a county fair where they have you got the guy just clear across the arena and them hurt. But,
Yeah.
so.
You go out there, and this is a team type of deal. Do you approach the race that you're in any different with, knowing you got some teammates?
As far as Blizzard Bash, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to watch out for each other and make sure. I mean, the first heat, it's just you're trying to kill the other team or get them slowed down. Take out wheels. You need to get them slowed down so that way you have numbers, and then you can kind of use strategy. But, that's quite a bit different than like a feature, because in the feature you're trying to all stay together, and you might talk to another team out there and take over an end, and then anyone that comes down to your end, you just pile drive them and then till they're out.
Yeah.
And as long as that team and your team works together, there's not too many people that can come and really mess with you, because there's so many numbers down there working together. But that,
Teammates, 4-car teams. You're like the Rick Hendricks of
Yeah.
demo derby stuff.
yeah, well, that's how you have to do the bigger, Blizzard Bash. I mean, the A features there anymore are so fast paced you can't really use that theory. These are kind of back a couple of years ago when, some of them other team derbies that they'd have, maybe 10 teams in a feature. You have so many cars out there, you got to do that. You kind of got to pace yourself a little bit just to make sure that you get through some of the, crazies out there. But
Yeah, that's what, excuse me, you ran some of the heat races and then the consolation races that lasted quite a while. Some of them did.
Yeah.
And then it come down to the championship race against the final two teams, and I think that only lasted like 8 minutes. I
Yeah.
mean, they wiped them out pretty quick.
so,
They were pretty much used up at that point, so give her hell.
How many races did those guys go through to get up to that feature event?
well, the team that we ran against in the very first heat's the one that ended up winning it. So they beat us, so they moved on. And then they had to run this year, they had to run an A feature, which is all the teams that won get to go to one or two of the A features. And what the championship was the two winners of the A features. So,
Wow, that's 3 pretty big derbies just right there in one day.
yeah,
So-
so. Which, with the discussion, everyone was kind of wanting people to still be able to transfer through like we did, year ago. and they wanted, the format to be back to like a 5 or 4 car A feature because they thought it'd be a lot more action packed instead. I don't think too many people were happy with how just the 2-car championship, which I think a lot of people left. I mean, honestly, we left to get back and get unloaded, and I think a lot of people just loaded up and went home because, their people they're watching didn't make it, so they loaded up and just checked out.
Yeah.
But Bill needs to go to that sometime, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He needs to go to it.
Mike?
sometime.
You think so?
I went for the first time this year, and I had a blast. I went for one day. I couldn't stay for the whole weekend, but I went for one day, and it was ecstatic.
Blizzard Black
Bash.
Bash.
5 times
Okay,
fast.
Bill.
Blizzard Bash.
Yeah.
Blizzard Bash. There we go. I got it.
Yeah.
Topeka, right?
Yep.
When was it this year?
November 15th.
Yeah.
November
My
15th.
son's birthday.
It's
Okay.
like he's talking about making it a 4-day show, but it's a 3-day
Oh.
show.
Yeah,
And it's I think it's literally, I think they've pretty much everyone's agreed it's like the biggest derby in the world pretty much now. I mean, as far as
Really?
yeah,
it's pretty big.
So
Where's it at in Topeka?
at the
The
Expo
Expo
Center.
Center.
Expo Center.
Yeah.
Right there in kind of like in the middle of town, sort of south of the.
I don't know Topeka very well, but I know
Yeah.
you
It's
get
right
off
by the
interstate,
Capitol,
It's
yeah.
a couple
It's by the
blocks off
Capitol.
interstate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
south of the Capitol. That's what I was trying
You
to
can
say.
look out the
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see the Capitol. So
So, Mike, is this something you might be interested in building a car for one of these years?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if I don't, my boy definitely will. I mean, that's all he talks about. So it's, I just right now I got so much going on with because I print T-shirts and stuff at home, and I'm so busy doing that I hardly even get time to work on my car. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to make any commitments right now. but-
Throw that out there for a minute. You're the local bud man. First of all, full time.
I'm your local bud guy.
Yeah. Okay. Visit him often.
Yeah.
But the other thing is you have Hill Job Graphics.
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah,
it is?
yeah.
What all do you do?
I do a lot of vinyl graphics and screen printing, just out of my own basement. Just something for the derby guys and the race car guys, and a few businesses, not many, but mainly just for the guys that want something. But nobody, like you go to a T-shirt shop here in town, and nobody really has what you're looking for. You want something that's got your car on it. You want something that's got what you want on it, not just some lame Jame car that they have on their internet. Oh, we'll just put this one on there. I will actually draw their car, and make it just like the car that they're driving. I mean,
I think you've done quite a few of the race car drivers out there. He did our Team Kansas.
I did the Team
stuff,
Kansas
and-
shirts. Did Chicken's actually shirts last year. His was one of the very first big orders I did.
You got a website that people can go to check out some of your stuff?
Everything I do is on Facebook. You just go to Hill Job Graphics on Facebook, and it's all on there. You see everything that I do, see everything that I'm gonna make.
Minimum quantities, or will you do one or two?
Man, I don't like to do ones or twos, but I will. You just got to pay for it. You know what I mean? I mean, it just comes down to the dollar.
Yeah, I'm needing a Corey Lagroon cheater shirt for the Chili Bowl.
Are you?
Yeah, I need.
I think I know
Chad
that.
Chad has them. I think graphics made up, so we need to get a hold of him.
Okay. Just send me an email and I'll get her taken care of. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said.
Wait. A Corey Lagroon cheater shirt?
Oh, you have to ask Markley about it. He's got this whole scheme all dreamed up,
Wow.
for making Corey some shirts.
Do I even want to get involved in this one?
Oh,
I don't know if you do or
Sounds
not.
like fun though.
We're in trouble here. Yeah, we had on our talk show, we had Dave Brent on the show, and Markley was texting me like
Oh.
crazy about rules and stuff.
Yeah.
I knew who it was, and I was like, really? Give it up.
Yeah, that's what he called me and said that he was doing that. That's when I think he came up with the idea for the shirt. But,
Oh,
Yeah.
I know what this stems from.
oh yeah, poor Corey.
Yeah.
Well, since we're on that subject, talk a little bit about the teching that you guys have to go through.
It's pretty extreme, to be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah.
they if they got any questions, they'll flat out get a scope out and look inside. Really? And which I 100% agree with. I mean, there's nothing worse than showing up to a show that you think you're built for, and then somebody else shows up and you're like, what
Yeah.
the heck is that? I mean, I want a fair shake when I go to a show.
Have you ever been DQ'd?
No.
Ever seen anybody DQ'd?
Yes.
Yeah,
Really?
Yes.
In a derby car?
Yes.
yeah.
Really? It does happen.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And as a driver, most of the guys all around here that run all the shows, there's not too many people that push the rules extreme enough to like cheat. And
Yeah.
usually after a show, you're going to know, as us as drivers or them as promoters, that car's not right, and they're
Yep.
going to go recheck it.
Yep.
So around here, you don't so much have to worry about it. I think Eastern Kansas, they have quite a bit of stuff that gets built pretty hard.
What would okay, let me ask just once. I know
Yeah.
neither one of you are real tech guys, but you've done this long enough. What would stick out in your mind if you saw a car at the end of the show? What would be one thing that stuck out in your mind that would make you think that it didn't really
Well,
meet
it
the
depends how they're
qualifications?
using it. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
you can hit hard and, certain ways. If you're driving through cars and using your momentum, it's different than if a car's just going clear across the arena head on with everyone all night and doesn't bend, which.
Because I've seen some of your stuff bent
Yeah.
up. It's like the trunk was sticking straight up in the air.
Everything
Yeah.
is going to move.
Yeah.
Everything is going to move.
But.
Just a
you
matter of
know,
how fast.
And that's the thing. You can tell if it's flat out loaded frame or something like that because, they're not bending like the rest of them.
Yep.
And
I got to ask you the green and tan team, I think, at the Blizzard Bash got one car DQ'd. What? And he ended
two
up
of 'em.
He ended up
Yeah.
moving up into the outlaw class.
Yeah.
What was wrong? What was wrong with it?
Well, them guys are just extreme builders. I mean, that's Songalewski and I don't know. Yeah, and Peter Hansen.
Yeah.
Them are the two guys that ran. And I think the other guys, the guy from Canada, I think is the guy that did he move up or did he run the?
I think he was the one that
Denson.
ran the pro mod. Or the outlaw class or
I'm
whatever.
not real sure on
one
that,
of them
but
that did
Yeah, one of them.
moved
Yeah,
up.
I just can't remember which one.
them
it was.
guys, they build really, really hard. And what they did, they found Sam's rules and they pretty much outlined with their car what all's wrong with them. There's no sizes on cages, so they made their cage the length of the entire door, just stuff like that. I mean, they were extreme. And, and Sam admitted that there's some problems with his rules, and he sees that now. And, but them guys, that's what they do. They just think outside the box and
Yep.
find all the gray areas. And, then that's why Sam kind of started this deal on Facebook to get the rules where we all want them, where we're all happy with them, and also to, make sure that we get all the gray areas out of there where, it's a pretty fair build, which they still want, they're still encouraging you to think outside the box. I just don't think they're wanting outside
They're
that
just
far.
going to make you cut it when you bring it.
Yeah, them cars were nasty. Well, did you watch their heat? Two of them took on.
We didn't get there.
Only two of them guys actually, got through. Not because they cheated, just because they didn't have enough time to fix what they had done. To fix it to where they were comfortable. And two of them guys ran against like a 4-car team and just annihilated them. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah, that heat was insane. It's like I think it's the most viewed hit from Blizzard Bash on
Yeah.
the internet right now.
Wow.
But that Peter Hansen's motor just screams, that's something to look into. You guys should type that in and look at, because that engine's crazy. I bet, you hear rumors, and I've heard like 14 grand in the motor. I've heard 20 grand. So who knows? I know he's got a lot.
The car was for sale. I believe it was $28,500.
Oh, really?
I believe was what the car was for. After it
For
was
what?
$28,500.
For a used derby car. It's
Complete
turnkey.
roller, ready to go. It's used a little bit. Don't get me wrong. It's broke in. $28,500.
Really? And you guys wanted me to go watch this stuff?
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's only $10 to get in.
Well,
You're good.
didn't Jimmy Johnson on your team? Didn't he sell his car after he got done with it?
No, I mean, I think that he was going to let a guy go run it somewhere, but I don't know how that all worked. So, so no, I don't. I think one of his buddies was going to run it in Amarillo, and I think something happened where he didn't get to take it. So I don't know where it's going to end up now.
That'd have been a good place to go.
Yeah, but so we were going to try to take ours, but then I heard there's a lot of other people putting quite a bit more work on top of what we already had in our car, and I'm like, I don't want to work on it more to go get rid of it. So, well, I think Sam, he runs the Tonganoxie show. We might try to run it there. Who
Yeah, good
knows
one.
where?
You're a good one.
So try to
When's
get
it?
Maya to run it. I
When's
think
it?
it's in the spring sometime.
Yeah, it'd be August or so, somewhere in there.
Wait a minute. He said spring. You said August. That's
It's gonna
like
be in there.
summer.
Yeah.
Ish.
Next summer sometime.
So, but
It's all year round,
At
man.
least that's what I mean. This is winter. Okay, it's cold
Yeah.
outside. In August, it's going to be hot.
Is it still cold outside?
yeah.
We ain't been out there in a while.
Yeah,
You sure it's still cold
It's
outside?
still cold outside.
Ashy,
Alright.
you got your party hats on?
Are you cold, Ash? See, she's not cold.
That dog was supposed to run around the shop.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Yeah, but no, me and Maya are getting ready for the championship. Hopefully, both we'll have 2 cars for that in May. So you
That's
gonna
the goal.
run?
Yep, that's the goal.
Is that
right
your-
now.
is that your first show?
Yeah, this year it will be. Yeah, and that's the here in Abbott. That's the one that Chad puts on that you have to qualify for. So, and ought to be a good turnout. I think that'll be a good show. I think he has it the same days they have a car show over in Abilene. So, hopefully we'll get a good crowd turnout and.
How many different shows is that going to bring? You know, you had to qualify for it, right? How many
He
qualifiers
didn't
were
really
there?
have
I
his,
think there was 25. I think there was
Yeah,
25 shows that
There's
qualified.
some in Missouri. There's some in Illinois. I think actually this year that Drive for 5 in Antigo, Wisconsin was a
Oh, wow.
was a qualifier. So and like we finally talked Chad into it, and he decided that to try it in the spring instead of having it at the end of the year. Because by the end of the year, like I said, we're also burnt out, and everything that we have, could be broke. If you have a bad year, blow a motor, rear end, something like that, it takes some funding to get that back up. So having it in the spring will let everyone get all their stuff, built back up and motivation built back up. So hopefully we'll have a lot better car turnout too. So
So what do you're going to get married soon? Okay, so
Yeah.
this is a tough question for
Yeah.
you. I know that the cars behind you, they're like cubic dollars involved in those.
Yeah.
What do you spend on a derby car? She's going to want to know someday.
She knows.
she
writes
knows.
She writes the checks already.
No. Well, she helped out on shirts, but no, she knows. She's been around. Like Jesse Derby, Jesse raced, and I think Jesse realizes that you spend about the same no matter what you do. So,
Something,
and
something might last a little bit longer. in
she
one.
knows. She's just going to help sponsor me and help fund more parts.
There you go.
Good idea.
So,
I mean,
but,
are they really expensive to build? I mean, you're talking some big dollar
yeah.
shows here.
I mean, they are. And the thing is, like, until you get the rules kind of under control, each year you have to rebuy everything it seems like you bought last year because there's the next best thing on the market that you feel like you have to have, or you have to go and build that or build this. And like we built a good Blizzard batch setup, which my cradle that I run the championship, it's the one I've been running for I don't know however many years, because Chad has the rule where you can't wedge it back against the firewall and use it as a brace, so it kind of eliminates the need for that big protector. You can get by with normal stuff, which that's why I like the championship. Puts more on like the driving than just as far as just going head on all night, because you got a bigger protector. But then again,
A lot of fun, though.
I like them shows too. I mean that's but
A lot of fun.
How do you guys? It amazes me. You can see a guy get hit real early in the front end and knock the radiator out of it, and steam blowing everywhere, and he'll just continue to go and go and go. How do you guys keep the motors running for so long with no water in them?
Man, I tell you what, I
What do you do?
that's a secret.
I ran Harrington this year.
Don't tell.
I ran Harrington this year with the car that I actually ran in Beloit, which was pretty used up at that point anyway. And the heat that I was in, that dang heat lasted an hour and 15 minutes. It was down to there was 4 of us running for an hour and 15 minutes, and they finally called it. And I had no rear tires. I had nothing. I think the temperature gauge rolled over 4 times on it. I mean, I'm not even sure, but it's what you do. I mean, that's how you build them. I mean, it all comes down to what you do to it. I mean,
There's a lot of tricks here and there. I mean, I don't know. Like, you just get a decent running engine. Like mine, there's not really anything special to it. I don't know why it runs good. It's worn
'cause
out.
Maya built it.
Yeah, it's worn out. Yeah, but I was trying not to let that secret out.
Did you run a heat race for so long, or a feature for so long? One time you ran out of gas.
2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, at the championship, I ran out of gas once, but And
Did you forget to put gas in it?
no, I just had a smaller tank than the other guys. But because I ran out. I ran out, and then like a minute or two later, you see Farmer Funk out there driving around. Then you see him just putter out. And he ran out too, and I think that was like an hour and 45 minutes or something.
Is that how long your 8 features go on for?
They can.
Some of them.
They
I
can.
mean,
God, I
that's-
hope they sell hot dogs during them.
yeah.
Somebody's gonna get hungry.
One of the first team derbies in Columbus, Nebraska, they stopped like an hour and a half into the feature.
It's Husker Havoc, wasn't it?
No, this is actually at the Columbus. It was.
Oh, I remember
it was
that one.
the.
Yeah.
It was before they called it Blizzard Bash, but the pit crews, they have a red flag, and then I noticed some of my pit guys standing next to me with the fuel can. I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, well, we're here to fill up your car. They said that you can fill up the car halfway through. I'm like, are you kidding me? That feature lasted 2.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think I went probably about at least an hour and 3/4 with no steering in that.
Aren't you wore out when you get done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show, you are.
Now, what about this? And you have to remember that I know
Yeah.
nothing about demolition derby stuff. Okay, so
You'll learn. It's
Yeah,
fine.
you're gonna have to show me. But I've heard about tires inside of tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff them
Huh?
Stuff 'em?
How do you mount a tire inside a tire?
very carefully.
It's
not bad, actually.
With a lot of cuss words I hear.
I'm
yeah,
telling-
Just a couple big ones.
it's not very fun, but it's what it takes.
So you put the tire on the wheel first.
No.
No, you put the tire inside of the tire first, and then you mount it like you would normally. But
Then you put a tube in it,
Yeah, tube.
and then you mount the other bead on, and you're it up.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Which
Voila!
It's a lot harder. See, he's doing it like the Sunday hot rod garages. Like, yeah, there's a lot more steps in there that you fighting it, and cussing, pry bars flying.
You learn the right way to do it, then you don't cuss it.
Yeah.
We
but-
went from taking 25 minutes to stuff one to literally 2 minutes to stuff a tire.
And these are forklift tires too, by the way. That you can imagine how pliable they
Yeah.
are.
Well, they're only 1.5 inches thick, so they move like, well, not quite like butter, but
Yeah.
it's somewhere in there.
That's no way.
Yeah.
There's
Crazy,
no
ain't
way.
it?
How do you put a tire inside the tire on a forklift tire? You got a picture?
Yeah, I have a vine of it,
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
what?
I got a stupid phone. I don't
Vine.
have that.
but it's
You basically you have your outside tire, right?
Yeah, I get
You
that.
take your inside one, you cut a bead off. I cut the beads off.
you do.
I
That's
cut the bead
why
off.
Okay,
he's
okay.
cheating.
I cut the bead off, then you basically squish the tire in half, pop one end of it in, you take your pry bar, you hit it 3 times, it'll right in there, mount it on your tire, put your tube in, go.
Okay, because I was envisioning the beads and everything being inside.
Apparently some people do that.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah. See, there's a.
Apparently some people do that. I don't know.
Okay. But that's not a forklift tire inside the
No,
forklift
no.
tire. Okay.
Yeah, you
okay,
put a regular
okay.
car tire
Put a
inside
regular
there.
car.
Yeah.
Okay.
All you're wanting is just that extra little bit of
There's the-
sidewall.
And then you still put a tube inside of there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
See? Hey, look,
Baby
it was that
powder.
simple.
Like
you
it
put,
said,
you put
the hot
baby
rod
powder
garage.
in there?
No, I
Nothing?
don't.
Okay. Just checking.
Maybe I need to learn some tricks because that's our worst thing. Ashley will leave the garage when she knows I'm doing tires because she knows.
I usually stop by when he's building his Blizzard Bash car, and I have yet to make it over on a night he's mounting tires. I
Well,
gotta see
maybe we
that.
got to go over some night. I'm sure. Look, they got
Yep.
beer. He works
Yeah.
for Bud, so maybe we can hook
Yeah.
up with him
Yeah.
and go
We'll
watch him
stop
mount
by.
tires.
Party. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Tomorrow night? How are we doing tomorrow night?
What are we doing tomorrow night?
I don't. I still need to get all my other cars cut apart to bring in the new ones. But so
I don't know.
I can't get motivated in this cold. But
So what do you just when you get your car back, you just cut it apart and keep all the good parts and haul it
Yeah.
off to scrap?
yeah, anymore like are getting so scarce. You save all the front suspension stuff. Anything good, you save.
Anything straight.
Yeah.
Anything straight.
Then what we'll do is throw all the interior of the car we're bringing in to strip out in the car we're hauling off for weight, and a trash can pretty much.
Saves going to the dump.
Yeah. So
When you get all done, what do you guess your car weighs?
that Blizzard Bash car,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd hate to see what that weighed. I would guess It probably weighed up around 6,000 or
I would-
7,000
I would
pounds.
think every bit of that, yeah.
Really?
Did
My-
you hear the guy that won the outlaw class? His car weighed 10,500 pounds. He said.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Imagine the fuel just pulling it there. I mean,
It wouldn't be bad now. It's cheap.
yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
run diesel or gas?
Yeah.
Is it diesel or gas truck you have?
Well, Maya usually is pulling ours, and he's got a diesel, so I
Still
just have a
cheaper
little
now
half
than it has
tonner.
been for
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
It makes
Nice.
it pretty nice.
I
I'm
wish it would
telling
have
you.
been that last year when we hauled to Arkansas, because all them hills and stuff, hauling his 3-car hauler with 2 cars on it, just fuel gauge. You see, just
Bill, get this. When they haul all their stuff to this big show, they haul a car, a parts van, and a Bobcat.
A Bobcat?
Everybody's got a Bobcat with
Yeah.
them.
What's the Bobcat for?
Fix your car.
frame straightening in case it doesn't roll right or whatever.
You can do a lot to a car with the Bobcat.
Yeah.
You really
You
can.
use the Bobcat to straighten the frame.
Yeah, say you drop a hump or something, someone catches you wrong. You get enough time, you can sit there and put that bucket on the back and wrap the chains around and just twist that frame rail back up. So, pretty handy to have. And then now that everyone's bringing them, you almost have to have one there.
So you have a Bobcat?
Well, Jeremiah's dad does, so we have access
So you know
to
us
one.
racers, we bring like 4-wheelers and
Right.
and pit carts and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and they bring Bobcats.
You know, I'm thinking here, since we got to the racing subject again.
Yeah.
You know, you're soon to be
Yeah.
Jesse's Levine's
Yeah.
brother-in-law. You think he'll let you take a turn behind the wheel of his car?
No.
We ran. Yeah. I ran it
That
on-
was pretty
I
quick,
just thought
Bob.
I'd answer for
Yeah.
Jesse since he ain't here.
Yeah. He made me
I
drive
mean,
it
he's
on
probably
Easter.
seen what you can do with a demo car. He's probably afraid to let you take out his modified.
No, he actually let me they peer pressured me into driving on Easter. I think we got to got to actually take some laps around the track because he had to work on when everyone else could test and tune. So they let him take it out there, and he made me jump in it. It's fun. Like, I had that super stock back when they had that. I ran it for like half a year, and it's so much different because that's back when they still were putting more weight on like the left side. There wasn't no roll like there is now. So it was pretty awesome feeling that car just roll over and
Yeah.
just bite.
Yeah.
I know I probably wasn't going very fast, but it felt fast. But,
So
Mike,
you're
do you-
envisioning hitting anything while you're in it, or just
yeah, I was envisioning his fist hitting my face if I hit the wall. So I didn't want to wreck it, but then, NASCAR Lucas, he got in it after me, and I think he did kind of smoke the wall. Jesse wasn't too happy. It didn't hurt it or anything, but
I'll get over it.
enough.
Get a buff right out.
Mike, do you do any circle track stuff? Do you ever go watch or anything?
I go out and I used to go out and help Stacy Huffman a lot. They're really good friends of mine, so I help Dennis Berry a lot. Dennis has kind of been like a dad to me my whole life. I'm actually kind of helping him out a little bit more this year than I probably should have, but I kind of made a promise and I'm gonna stick to it. So, but yeah, it's I get out there. I like it. I mean, I grew up at the track, so I'm glad it's back at Salina, of course. But I don't know, it's fun. I dig it.
Dennis is a good guy. We've been clowning around with him. I don't know why we keep running into him, but we run into him at Coyote Canyon on Friday nights, and I know the guy lives on Dr. Pepper.
Oh my God!
Oh.
So-
oh my God!
You can
I'm
get
always
him to
having
do,
to-
you can get him
You
to
want
build you a
anything
car.
done?
Yeah.
Bring him a Dr.
Bring
Pepper.
a Dr.
Yeah,
Pepper.
a case of Dr. Pepper. He'll build you
I
a
try
race
to-
car.
Right there.
I try to sneak into the place without him seeing us, and then we get the waitress to take him over a Dr. Pepper, and he's automatically looking around. I know Bob's here somewhere.
That's
Yeah.
what him and Maya must have in common because he
Yep,
drinks
yep,
that.
yep.
I don't see how he does it. He'll drink like 10 of them a
And
day.
don't dare go to the garage and take one out of the garage. Don't dare. Don't dare. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it at that. But don't even ask. Don't even ask. Just leave the fridge shut. If you want something to drink, run down to the gas station.
Well, due to some technical difficulties, we got started a little late tonight. We're within the last 5 minutes of our program
It's been
already.
an hour already?
It's already been an hour.
Holy cow, you guys talk a lot.
They do.
I don't know what happened.
Anybody? There it is. What's the story behind this?
Roof.
How you doing?
You know,
Just what kind of puppy are you?
you just never know.
No.
You
Dave,
never know.
I hope you're getting this, Dave.
This guy-
I don't know. I don't
He
know
must-
what the story is behind this.
He must have 100 of these things because you never know what he's
It's
going
hilarious
to
what he
get.
puts on Facebook all the time. I mean, he'll have something weird. Like he's got the mannequin too. Have you seen the mannequin? The mannequin's awesome. But it's
Simone.
I don't know. Yeah, Simone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
They're fun.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's you never see Chicken actually post a picture of himself. It's always the dog or something else out there.
I don't want to see my ugly own face.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's pretty funny though from somebody else looking on.
Yeah.
So it gives some amusement, Joe. Just so you know that. I mean, you're putting smiles on a lot of kids' faces these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, come Halloween time, I think he must have inherited it from his dad because his dad is pretty good at Halloweening too.
So the apple didn't fall far from the tree at all.
No, no.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I've got him a Halloween mask for Christmas, and he actually had collarbone surgery today, and that went well. But, he doesn't send me surgery went well or anything like that. He sends me a picture of him in a Halloween mask with the sling on, so. And then I know he's okay. And this is I got him this one. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is what he sent me, 342.
Oh. If you could only see that. Who is that? It looks like.
Yeah.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good.
But that's just how our family's always been, my aunt's side. And it's fun.
Looks like a character off the Munsters. The
Yeah.
grandpa is what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah, I think the apple's still hanging from the tree.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it at an hour, folks. How much?
Let's, yeah.
Anybody
let's-
you need to thank as
yeah.
we wrap this thing up?
I don't know. I mean,
Hill Job Graphics, of course.
That's-
Big,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
big thing
Yeah,
there.
I guess we
you
can
do
do that.
hoodies and T-shirts and all kinds.
anything
of
you
stuff.
want. Anything you want, man.
I'll be in
Anything you
touch.
want, anything you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody help you out? I mean,
Yeah, Ashley, got to thank my mom, Jeremiah Faulkner mainly. I mean, he's why we're so successful, in what we do. He builds most of our stuff, technical stuff. I can do the little peon work, and I come up with ideas, but he makes it all happen. Then just Glassmasters always helps us out. Then we got Peel Farm, and there's a ton of other people that I'm trying to think of. Chuck Northup, he's always done our transmissions.
Oh God.
So, and
I know Chuck. Yeah, he's good.
up, Chuck, up. Yeah, no, and just anyone else, Jessie, her dad came and helped get the Blizzard Bash car ready this year because we were running out of time, and it's just same as the racing community, and the racing community helps us out a ton
Yeah.
too. If we ever need anything, Corey, any of them guys would always be there for us. Bob, Bob's came over and helped 9-wire some of them nights when we're trying to get stuff done because he knows how
I'm gonna
stressful
need
it
your
gets.
number.
Yeah.
God,
So,
I couldn't believe that was crazy.
so I think
yeah.
I got them
It's a
all.
little tedious.
No, give me a holler. I'll be glad to come over and give you a hand too. And of course, we always have this place. But
Yeah.
You've got a nice shop to work out of yourself. But
Yeah,
We'll do what we
not
can to
like
help you.
this.
We could do a lot
Yeah.
in this one.
Yeah.
His shop ain't a whole lot warmer than this, I guarantee you.
Mine is.
Yeah.
well, I had it to 50 degrees in here. It's backing off a little bit, so it's going to
Ashley,
get chilly.
she's been,
Is she hogging the heat?
She's over there holding on to that
Man.
furnace.
Can't take her anywhere.
yeah. So,
But, fellas, thanks so much for coming out
Yeah.
tonight. We got to
Thanks for
wrap
having
this
us.
thing up. We appreciate it. Good luck. I haven't been to a demo derby in a long time. The last one I was at was at the fairgrounds here in town, so maybe I'll sneak
Do I need
over
to
to
bring a
Abilene.
wheelchair and carry your ass in there?
Yeah,
or what?
you're going to have to. I'm getting older these
Hey,
days,
I'll do what I
Yeah.
gotta do.
Okay.
Somebody's got. Didn't say
I'll
somebody's
get
got
there.
a golf cart.
Find
Okay,
one.
okay, we got a
Yeah.
golf cart.
All
Never mind.
right. Just get me there. I'll go
All right.
watch.
we'll
All
get you VIP passes, pit passes.
Hey, there we go.
Oh,
You
now
can
we're
stand on
talking.
the bank with
And put a sledgehammer in his hand.
Regina.
Yeah.
What's the sledgehammer for?
We gotta work. Gotta earn your keep.
Great. I got to work again.
I should see.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming
Yeah.
by tonight. Bobby, thanks a lot. 2 weeks, we'll do our next one.
Okay.
This show's produced by David Cheveria. Hope I got that correct, Dave. You can tell me if I didn't or not. Check us out on Facebook. Check David out on Facebook. He does a lot of website stuff, page development, things like that. Get in touch with him. We're going to be hitting up some local sponsors, businesses for sponsorships on this show pretty quick. Dave's bought some equipment and things like that. We're going to keep doing this thing. So 2 weeks. I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. And Bobby and I both wish all of you a very happy New Year. New Year's Eve is tomorrow, and we hope things are very successful for you.
Everybody be safe.
All right. For Bobby Potts, Bill Gritt, saying so long, thanks to Justin Montgomery and Mike Hill from Hill Job Graphics coming by tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks right here on Shop Talk, part of Race Talk Live.
Bye-bye.
Are we clear?
Are we done now?
Are we out?